What's going on, you bunch of heretics? Grab paint pots, grab your recaf, and let's get some paint on that ever-growing pile of potential. It's here, the heresy is my therapy, Slapchop tutorials. So, a while ago we did do the Blood Angels, but today, with all the hype around Blood Angels, all the controversial releases, I figured it's only right that we kind of, as the channel suggests, like the Ultramarine video, this is a very much of a how to slap chop your Blood Angels like a pro. Bit more color theory, a little less green looking or pinky looking Blood Angels like they were last time, much more new and improved, and a much better way of getting your Blood Angels to look the way that you want them to look. So yes, as always, everything you need will be in the description below. Hopefully you find this video useful, and it is a bit more of an improvement from the previous Blood Angel slapchop video that we did a few months back. So yes, how to slapchop your Blood Angels like a pro. Enjoy. Well, yeah, and that's not the right intro. Without further ado, let's get to it.
Hey everyone, so here he is, Sergeant Joven, that commemorative Warhammer model from quite a while back. He's going to give the Blood Angels treatment today. And there's some Morts on there as well. 3-tier system, Administratum Grey, All-Throne Grey and White Scar, or Corex White if you have it, are the initial slap chopping paint scheme we're going to use for today. As always with our 3 bits and pieces, we've got our wet palette, our water pot and our kitchen roll, and of course we're going to use our Administratum Grey first of all. Don't forget guys, grab your dry brushes, put some paint on the dry brush. As always, take it all off, take it all off and take it all off, and then we're going to apply small circles to the model itself. Nice and simple, nice and easy, no rush, slowly building these layers. So yes, small circles all over the model. It doesn't have to be neat, but we just want to get absolutely everywhere with this initial dry brush. We're going to go as light as we possibly can with this initial Administratum Grey. So small circles all over the model to get that initial base layer of Administratum Grey all over our target model today. As you can see, just like say, there's probably good like two layers on this, you know, 2 maybe even 3 layers of this. All right, and as you can see, it's quite a light base, and we are going for a much lighter effect now. All right, grab yourself an order dry brush, a clean dry brush, and just get all that excess dry brush paint off. All right, so this is all dry paint, it's all been flickered off, so let's just get that off there so we can put a fresh clean layer on for the next set. So get it all off, get it all off, get it all off there. Easy as that, easy as that. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to move on to our All-Throne Grey. Again, this time we're going to be going down the model, okay, so where the light would shine. So again, we're going to get a little bit on our brush, we're going to take it all off. This doesn't change. This initial first 5 minutes of these videos, guys, they're not changing. All right, so yeah, get it on there, and all you're going to do is we're just going to, all the tops of the model where the light would shine. We're not going underneath, we're not going in the shadows, we're literally going where the light would shine on our model, so that it looks it's going to create that highlight, those highlighted in shadows. It's going to give a real contrast between the two of them. Okay, and like I say, we're just going over it again, just build up those layers. You know, again, there's 2 layers on here. Alright, 2 layers on here at least, and then like you say, we're just going to take our old dry brush there, and we're just going to take off that excess paint. And as you can see, you can definitely see a stark contrast between those areas where the light would be shining versus the areas where the shadows are kind of collecting nicely. Alright, so like I say, get all that excess old paint off there so we can apply our final layer of White Scar. And it's same again guys, White Scar applied to the top areas get it on our paintbrush, take it all off, take absolutely everything. We want to build these layers. We're slowly building these layers, okay? We don't want to rush straight in and make it all blotchy. We're nice thin down layers and slowly build up the paint on it, all right? And that white scar is going to leave a nice, just that crisp finish off for those real raised highlighted areas on the model. Okay, so get absolutely everywhere where the light would be shining. Use a light that you've got on your desk, hopefully, if you've got that available. If not, you just look where the light's kind of naturally going and where you are on your workspace. Okay. So guys, it's small circles, nothing too neat, but just enough to kind of make sure we get those nice contrasted areas of light and darkened areas. All right. And as with this, like I say, build up the areas, just keep building it and building it and building it, and go as light as you want to, really. But for me, like I say, that would be quite nice there, I reckon. Love these little brushes. Really great to work with the Teclon Tiger dry brush. Yes, and there it is. And of course, just finally, just before we start to put that contrast paint on the model, we're now going to just take all of that excess dry. You can see on that base, it's almost like we're dusting the surfaces. All right, so just get all that excess dry paint off the model, ready to start the actual process. All right, and like I say, just get it all off, get it all off, get it all off. We're in no rush. And there he is, prepped up, good to go, nice and light. So here we go. We're going to get our Magma Draft Flame. Okay, Magma Draft Flame. So this is going to give us a nice, that rich orange hue under the red. So it will take away that sort of like pinkness that we did on the previous Blood Angels video. This is just going to take that away. Get some on your your palette, and of course don't forget your Lamium Medium. Again, Lamium Medium, great. We're going to thin this down 2 to 1. 2 to 1 on the model, and nice and thin down, and we're going to apply just two, as always, 2 thin coats. And it's the running joke with the Duncan Rhodes Academy thing, but it works. We're just going to put a nice couple of layers of this onto our model. Okay, so all over where we're going to have that red armor work. Okay, so this is, for me, it's just going to be all over the model. Yep, I'm just just building up those layers. This is now what it's going to look like on the model. It has got a bit of an orange hue to it, but again, this is just an underpaint to when we actually start applying our Blood Angels and Flesh Tearers reds to get that rich red colour. But again, just a couple of thin coats. Don't allow the paint to pool. Move it around, and then just keep topping that up again. 2 thin coats is all you're going to need for that. Alright, it might look a bit weird at first, but trust the process. Okay, next up we're going to get our Blood Angels red, and you'll already see the difference in this versus the old version where we kind of went straight with it on there. Now we're going to get a much richer colour. So again, just work that Blood Angels red into the old mix, and we're going to use our Lamium Medium contrast, our Lamium Medium, and then again just a 2 to 1 sort of mix with this. Again, we do want to thin it down so we can have, again, a couple of layers of this. We don't want to be going in straight from the pot at all because we don't want that blotchiness. So nice thin layers, and again, we're going to build it up to get that rich, deep red colour that's well known with our Blood Angels. And straight away, you can already see the difference with having that Magma Draft Flame as an underpaint, if you will. And like I say, all those areas that you've used that Magma Draft Flame, we're now going to do the same with that Blood Angels red. All over the model, and just slowly, like we say before, we're just building it up, okay? Building it and building it and building it. Alright, try not to get on any areas where it's a bit of a paint by numbers, if you will, as is with the whole Slapchop sort of system. Use a smaller brush to start getting into those underpart details, and if it goes straight onto the darker areas, that's great, because it's going to give it that dark red hue in those shadows, which is what we're after. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Apologies for the blur there. guys, I do apologise for the blur there. There we are, back into focus, and you can see that just coming in really, really nicely. There he is there again. Okay, like I say, 2 thin coats, gives that already that nice rich look. Now we're going to get our Flesh Tearers red. Again, this is now going to really deepen that colour and work nicely with that layering system. Alright, and it's same again, same principle. Again, a nice 2-to-1, 2-to-1 thin down with our Lamian medium on our wet palette. And again, all this is really doing now is we're now giving this deep, rich red colour that the Blood Angels are well known for. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by Chronicle Cards, Chronicle RPG, and they are giving you guys 20% off site-wide using code HERESY20. So like I say, we're just going over almost like a glaze, but going all over those areas that we've had in red, and this is really 1, maybe 2 thin coats of this, just to really, really give that richness to that nice deep red look that the Blood Angels are known for. Already a huge difference from the first tutorial of Blood Angels. And there he is, as you can see, that nice, rich red colouring. Now we're going to start to do the classic black layers. So we're going to start with our Pterodon turquoise, and all we're going to do is all the areas that we want to have black. As always with the kind of, that underpaint, we're going to use that Pterodon turquoise to give that nice turquoisey hue that we like to see on our models with black on Slapchop. So as you can see, all we're doing here is again 2-to-1, almost maybe almost a 1-to-1 of turquoise and the Lamian medium. And again, all we're doing is all those areas that we want to have in black. So the cloth on the orc, all of his webbing and belt kit, that's all going to have the Pterodon turquoise. And again, just a thin layer of this is all you're going to need. And then of course we'll be moving on to the actual eagle and the crest and the joints. So we've got the joints, the crest, and that will all be in that Pterodon turquoise. We're also going to do the chainsword as well. The chainsword is also going to have that in black as well, just because it breaks it up quite nicely with the kind of theme of this model. Yep, and there we are, working way through it. We've done the armour, we've done the crest, we've also done his cloth on the front as well. Okay, with that all, whilst that's all drying, we're now going to get our Nasdaq yellow. Obviously, because he is a sergeant, we will give him a yellow helmet as per the kind of chapter, sort of like the chapter colour scheme, if you will, the colour scheme of the chapter. So yes, this nice Nasdaq yellow, that's just going to be our kind of initial paint to kind of again create a bit of an undertone and build up the yellows for this. So all we're doing here is quite simply his yellow helmet that he's painting, or if you've got one that's wearing one, you're just going to paint that yellow. Also for the orc skin, as an underpaint for the orc skin, I'm just going to go with this yellow as well. Just applying a bit of that colour theory from Louise Sugden's recent videos of colour theory with orc skin. So just trying it out here, and I think it will work out quite nicely. And as you can see, I've done the kind of bits of his arm, and obviously his face, and his other bit of arm, and of course the helmet as well. So we're going to get Black Legion this time. I know usually we use Black Templar, but today we're going to use Black Legion for this. And again, put it in with our old Pterodon turquoise mix. We're also going to really thin this down, okay, like 2-to-1, almost 1-to-1. Remember guys, as I said before, Black Legion's a very heavy colour. Alright, so we just want to work this quite nicely into our model, make sure it's thinned down nicely. And we're getting into all those areas that we've applied the Terragon Turquoise to. We're now going to do a couple of layers, probably 2 to 3 thin coats of this. Okay, thin coats over those areas. So make sure you thin it down with that Lamium medium and just slowly build up. If you go too heavy with this, it will just look completely and utterly blotchy. So it's really important that you thin this colour down and slowly build up the layers with this. Okay, with that all applied, like I said, I've done maybe 2 or 3 thin layers of this, and you can see that's kind of given like a nice dark colour and the hue. We're now going to get our Imperial Fists. That's a really nice yellow again, and all this is going to do, we're just going to place this over the helmet. Again, work it into that mix. You don't need to thin this down really. This can kind of be pot to palette. If you want to thin it down, you can do, but I would just kind of go pot, palette, and then straight on those areas that you've applied the yellow to, so on the helmet for this guy. And again, all I'm going to do is just touch up a little bit on the face and some bits of the arm with that yellow as well, okay? We want a nice yellowish look underneath the greens that we're applying momentarily. But again, Imperial Fist just into the yellows that we've done previously. Mantis green, okay, Mantis green, okay. This is a really nice light green, and again we're going to put this onto the orc skin. So once we've got those 2 yellows on there, and now we're just going to apply this Mantis green all over the face and the arms of the orc. The very unfortunately dismembered, I believe is the word we're looking for, dismembered orc. And again, 2 thin coats of this should do the job just nicely. Like I say, we just build it up. Don't go straight from the pot. Add it onto your palette, and just kind of move that paint around the face and the arms. Next up, we're going to use Warp Lightning. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, more Warp Lightning. We had Mantis Green, and now it's Warp Lightning. This is going to give that orc its real nice kind of texture and look about it. Okay, so Warp Lightning, work into our mix, and then again 2 to 1, 3 to 1 of Warp Lightning to contrast medium. Okay, but we do want to thin it down. Again, like a glaze, we're just going to place this all over that model, all over the face. All over the arms, working it, letting that Warp Lightning just sit nicely in all of the recesses, and of course giving it that nice lighter orcish green look that is common with the orc faction, if you will. But yeah, quite an easy. There will be future videos on orc green skins, don't worry. It's a bit unfair for those orc players to have to look at their dismembered orc getting painted. But yeah, this is a simple way of painting an orc colour schemes. Right, okay, we're going to get our Iron Dun yellow, and this again, nice and simply, this is just going to go onto the helmet. Alright, so now we're starting to really richen the colour of the helmet. Alright, so as you can see, a few different shades of yellow, and that just kind of again deepens the richness of the yellow within the model. With that applied, we're going to get our Shyish purple, and all this is going to do is we're going to put the Shyish handle into like the paint, the handle of the chain sword. Again, nice and easy. Next, for the areas of red that we've applied, I do apologise, I have put the red into like the kind of like wounds, if you will, of the orc, and I'm just adding a little bit of purple in there as well, just for all the exposed flesh and organs we're going to put some purple just in there as well, that shyish purple, and again around the edge of the blood and the neck, just where he's had his head lopped off. But I know we're not doing this really, and the focus is Blood Angels, but just as if you're using this model, this is what I was doing for that as well. So apologies for missing the red on the organs there, guys, apologies. Okay, with that done, we're going to get our old yellow mix, and we're just going to recycle that and just pop it in his hair. Blood Angels, obviously with their reputation of having vampire-esque blonde hair, because they're supposed to be beautiful. Now you're going to get your Grogrunter fur, and again, all we're going to do with that is we're going to pop that into his hair as well. Put it into that old mix and just work it nicely. Pop palette into his hair to kind of, you know, give him a nice blondie brown hair. Okay, we're going to get our Xandri dust now, and all we're going to do here is just some of the teeth and it's kind of like a wrist strap that he's got for his, well, whatever that might be that he's holding on the model. Again, I'm just using I'm just using the Xandri dust just as like for the sort of like wrappings of that that'll be around his wrist, and then for the teeth on the orc head. Again, just a little bit of Xandri dust just in the teeth, as that will come more apparent later on. But yeah, keep it simple, keep it safe. Okay, with that done, we're going to get back to our Grogrunter fur, and all we're going to do is just going to apply a thin layer of the Grogrunter fur over that those areas of Xandri dust that we've just applied. Okay, so literally straight pot to palette, around the teeth, and then of course around the strapping on his hands as well. Alright, really simple, keep it thin, nothing too wild. With all that dried, it's time to get our Xandri dust back out again. Right, you know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say, guys. If you're not new to the channel, you know what this conversation goes. If you're new to the channel, this is going to be, get your Xandri dust, get it on your brush, take absolutely loads of it off, and you are literally feathering this. And I mean feathering this, okay? We don't want to ruin that hard work with that rich red, okay? But this needs to be an absolute feather dusting, and slowly build it up to, you know, to the kind of desired effect. I've gone with this really lightly, and I mean super light feather dust. With the dusting done, we're going to apply our metallic, so we're going to get some Iron Warriors, and all we're going to do here, we're just going to apply this onto the kind of the armour of the orc, the teeth on the chainsword, his backpack where the kind of vents are, and also the vents underneath the main compartment of it as well. Okay, also, as we're doing here, just in there on the helmet, I'm going to give him a nice silver crest on his sergeant helmet, and again on the kind of vents on the side of the helmet as well. Like I say, just all the metallics of the orc armor that you can see, we're going to do that as well. Again, with the metallics, you can kind of go to, you know, 1 or 2 coats of this. Iron Warriors is a really easy paint to apply. You can just pop it on anything and it will just sit really actually quite nicely on most things. And like I said, we're just on the back of the model as well, you know, like I say, on all the vents of the backpack. I'm also kind of doing like in the under part of the 2 side pod vents. Again, you can just work a little bit of that Iron Warriors in there as well. Feel free to skip ahead here if you want to, guys. We're just playing those bits that we want silver on the model. nothing wild here. Next up, we're going to get our pot of liquid talent, our non-oil, and this is going to do that absolute bang-up job that it always does of all those areas that we've just applied the metallics to. That's where we're going to apply our non-oil to. Alright, so non-oil in amongst the crest, the sidebar, the side bits, all the pods, basically everywhere that we have just gone with that silver. You are just going to apply that non-oil to. Again, pot to palette you can do, and if you want to go a bit heavier, you can just go straight from the pot onto the area. So like with the armor work, you could easily go, pot, take a little bit off, and then pop it on onto the armor work. Okay, while that's drying, we're going to get our Cadian flesh tone. You know the routine with this, guys. Now with the face, you know what we're going to be doing. Those of you who are regular viewers, we're going to get our Cadian flesh tone, our Guilliman flesh, our Agrax Earthshade, and then our Kislev flesh. You know the routine, it doesn't change. We keep it simple, we keep it safe on the channel. Alright, we're keeping it safe, we're keeping it simple. So 2 thin coats of Cadian flesh tone in and around the face, okay? Again, it's just his face, there's not much to do here. And this is kind of the only part that isn't Slapchop really. It's just getting 2 thin coats of the model on his face done, that initial base layer of face painting. Oh, face paint. Anyway, Guilliman flesh. Again, Guilliman flesh, this is going to create that, it's going to sit nice in the recesses and just kind of give their face a bit of shape and a bit of texture to it as well. Alright, so from the pot to the palette and then all on in amongst the model. And again, build up to taste, to how much you want. Again, I'll probably go 2 thin coats of this just on that model. It really breaks it up nicely. Okay, all we're going to do is we're going to get our Stormhost Silver. So while that Guilliman flesh is drying, grab your Stormhost Silver and we're just going to dry brush ever so lightly all those areas that we've applied the non-oil to. And again, this will now just create a nice little bit of a highlight. So like say, on all the areas that we've just applied the metallics to, we're just going to very, very lightly apply a delicate dry brush over those areas. So on the armor work, on the backs, basically every bit of metallic that we've done is now going to have, the Stormhost Silver treatment. Once you've done that, you're then going to get your Agrax Earthshade. We're going to put this in 2 spots. First of all, and again, this is just really for the orc bit. So on the armor work, just to kind of give it a bit of a rusted, dirty look, because they're orcs and. Well, they're orcs. And this is the Graceful Blood Angel. We're just going to put it into sort of like the recesses, the cracks and the curves. It's going to sit in there quite nicely and just kind of dull it out a bit. And then of course we're going to take it and hood the eyes as we do on all of our faces. Okay, so just in amongst the eyes, again across the nose, and if you want to put a little bit across the mouth, you can do as well. But again, very gently from the pot to palette, and then just like you say, we just hood the eyes. So for me, we'll just very quickly, this is like Astro Granite. I want to kind of keep it like the Angels of Death Warhammer TV series, so I'm going to keep it a bit of a grey urban base. Again, I need more of this because it's running out and it's getting all horrible, but this is basically just the start of my basing. Again, you can do whatever basing you're going to do for your guys. Right, with that all done there, we're now going to apply the Kislev flesh, and this is pretty much the last part because the model is pretty much all done, apart from the rest of the basing. But yes, our Kislev flesh, guys, you know the routine with this. We're going to take it from our pot, we're just going to, again, work it into that old Cadian flesh tone, and then all we're going to do is just on the nose. So on the nose, on the forehead, all the raised areas that we just want to create that bit of separation for. Alright, so like I say, on the head, top of the cheeks. I know you guys have been asking for a bit more of a close-up, but this is the best I can kind of give in my camera without it going out of focus, so I do apologise. I'm just trying to describe it best as possible. So, you know, tops of the cheeks, the nose, the bits of the chin, the forehead, and again across the bridge of the nose. All right. And yeah, there he is, guys. All done in his glory. Finished off. All I've done with the base, I've put a bit of normal oil and just brushed over a bit of a shabby bone, Ulthran grey, and there he is, all done. Hopefully guys you found this video useful. If you have, give us a thumbs up and a comment, and give us a subscribe. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Signing off for now. Bye bye.